New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Well, good evening to everyone across the United States and also around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and guaranteed always exciting edition of the Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network. I am Pastor Michael Mangus, and I am broadcasting from the super secret radio room, surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts, in the secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret that only Diego and the Reverend Dr. Charlotte Manning, only they know where the super secret concrete bunker is. Everyone else, including our Chief Inspirational Officer, the Reverend Robert Brzezinski, has no clue where we are located this evening. We have a great show for you tonight. So again, please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments on Facebook. And again, for all my shy people out there, don't be shy. Just go ahead and send me an email at pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. It's really difficult to read the emails while we're doing the program. So just to let you know that afterwards, I take a look at them and do read them. And thank you so very much for them. So the purpose of our get-together this evening is to talk about contemporary issues from a new thought perspective. And as I keep saying, I want us all to have a new thought about what is going on around us. And again, we play the disclaimer mostly because Diego thinks it's funny. But we play it because they are my views, they are my opinions. Nobody else's. So again, as they say in the 12-step program, take what you like and leave the rest. So, but I want us all thinking about what is going on in the world and our part in it. Again, we talk about oneness at our centers each and every week. So if we are all one, then we are not only a part of the problem, but we are also part of the solution. So tonight we do have a very special guest with us. We have live from, again, another portion of the super secret concrete bunker, the spiritual director of Summit Spiritual Center, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, and that is Diana Mangus, licensed practitioner, who will discuss with us positive news stories that she and she alone has researched for us this evening, because she thinks my show is too negative. So she says, you need to brighten it up a little bit. All right. So we're going to have Diana on to brighten up our show this evening with wonderful things that we found on the internet about the good things that are happening out there. Well, we're watching the news this evening, and we see that the judge has sentenced Travis McMichael, his father Gregory McMichael, to life imprisonment without parole in the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black jogger killed in February 2020. Their neighbor, William Roddy Bryant, has been sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. All three men were found guilty in November in this case and are also awaiting trial on separate federal hate crime charges. Again, from CNN, it says sentencing does not generally provide closure. Ahead of announcing the sentence for the three men convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery, Judge Timothy Walmsley warned this, that sentencing does not generally provide closure, adding that for Arbery's family, that was unfortunate. In this case, the judge said, I think that many people are seeking closure. The mother, the father, the community, and maybe even parts of the nation. But closure is hard to define, and it is a granular concept. It is seen differently by all depending on the perspective and the prism of your lives, the judge said. Walmsley concluded by saying, instead of closure, maybe it would be best to see today's proceeding as an exercise in accountability. We are all accountable for our actions. Today demonstrates that everyone is accountable to the rule of the law. Taking the law into your own hands is a dangerous endeavor. And I will add, will end you up in prison. Ahmaud Arbery's mother said this, there is nothing the defendants can say that would make me feel better. Ahead of the sentencing of the three men convicted of murdering Ahmaud Arbery, his mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, says that she doesn't want to hear anything from the defendants. I really don't want to hear anything from Travis. I really don't want to hear anything from either of the defendants. There is nothing that they can tell me today that would make me feel better. I miss Ahmaud more and more each and every day, she told CNN. Her attorney, S. Lee Merritt, said that the Department of Justice approached Cooper Jones and her family earlier in the week and asked if they would consider a plea deal where the convicts would be sentenced to 30 years in federal prison. And she rejected it. And we believe that today the state will move forward with life sentences without the possibility of parole. And we think that that is the appropriate sentence, the attorney said. Ahmaud did not get a chance to live. So with that being said, Travis shall not get a chance to live as a free man. Travis shall go to prison for life without parole, and he should remain in prison forever, Cooper Jones added. Today in court, she said this, these men have chosen to lie and attack my son and his surviving family. They each have no remorse and do not deserve any leniency, she said. They chose to treat him differently than other people who frequently visit their community. And when they couldn't sufficiently scare or intimidate him, they went ahead and they killed him. Addressing comments made by defense attorney Laura Hogue about Aubrey's toenails in her closing arguments during the trial, Cooper Jones said this. She says, he was messy. He sometimes refused to wear socks or take good care of his good clothing. I wish he would have cut and cleaned his toenails before he went out jogging that day. I guess he would have known if he thought that he was going to be murdered. The family, through the mother, said this: my family and I have started a foundation. The name is called the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation. She said the citizen's arrest law as well was passed in Georgia. And since we lost Ahmaud, we've gotten that change already. So I am extremely proud of that as well. All right. So even though the local prosecutor here tried to bury the charges, what helped to bring about justice? It was the societal pressure that brought on the sentences today. My prayers are for the Arbery family and those convicted and their families, because it affects everyone here. The time to remain silent within the New Thought community is done and over with. And again, the reason that we are bringing this up is because, again, the fire keeps burning. I admit that sometimes when you have personal problems in your life, that if you go ahead and just ignore them and don't put any fire to them, what happens is they go away. However, in these deeply rooted issues, we must change the consciousness of everyone who's participating in them, including ourselves. So when we all say, no more racism, no more hatred, no more sexism, no more homophobia, the world has to stand up and listen. Also, we have to, in my opinion, get rid of the racism, the hatred, the sexism, and the homophobia within us. The only hope for humanity here is for all of us to see ourselves as one and to acknowledge the divinity that's within all of us. Today's sentencing is a good start. However, like the judge said today, instead of closure, maybe it would be best to see today's proceedings as an exercise in accountability. We are all accountable for our actions, the judge says. Today demonstrates that everyone is accountable to the rule of the law, and taking that law into your own hands is a dangerous endeavor. So where does forgiveness come in that we talk about? Forgiveness and accountability are two separate matters here. I can also forgive, and I can also hold accountable by letting the justice system do its work while not taking matters into my own hands. So I can forgive. I can do my own forgiveness work, and then let the justice system do their part in the accountability. Well, hi there. Good evening. Welcome. This is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network. In just a few moments, we will be having the good news. I know we had a program of good news before this one, but we will have an additional 30 minutes of good news this evening provided by the spiritual director of Summit Center for Spiritual Living here in Akron, Ohio, their esteemed spiritual director, Diana Mangus, who has picked out not one, not two, but 3 stories for us to consider. Yes, our favorite subject is still in the news. Guess what that is? Yes, COVID-19. And from CNN, Australia detained another tennis player a day after canceling star Novak Djokovic's visa following an outcry over his medical exemption from the country's coronavirus vaccination rules. They don't let you get away with too much down in Australia. Thousands of flight cancellations and delays continue in the U.S. as airlines struggle with workers calling off sick with COVID-19. I'll talk about that more in a moment. Global COVID-19 cases increased sharply. The WHO, the World Health Organization, said in its weekly update, with the Americas region showing the largest jump. And the death count so far, because of COVID-19 in the United States, including my mother, Diana Mangus, and a former member of my center, first name is Jean, who I performed her funeral services last week. 832,392. Also today, the Supreme Court appeared poised on Friday to block Biden's administration's COVID-19 vaccine or testing requirement for large businesses. The conservative majority seems skeptical about the Biden position, which with Justice Samuel Alito floating an idea of an administrative stay ahead of the January 10th vaccine mandate. Liberal Judge Elena Kagan, meanwhile, called for the mandate policy most geared to help stop COVID-19. And in a separate challenge, some of the justices seem more open to a vaccine mandate aimed at certain healthcare workers. Liberal judges grilled the Missouri or the state of Missouri's representatives on other types of regulations put on these workers. All right. For those of us who are planning to attend the Centers for Spiritual Living convention in 10 days, we received this email today. Dear convention attendees, with our convention just a little over 1 week away, we wanted to send this communication to all currently registered in-person attendees to be transparent and to give proper communication during these interesting times. No kidding. It says, please read this email carefully as there are some very important steps and updates that you must know as an attendee prior to traveling to Palm Springs and while on site with us for the event. All right. We have known that things are different in how we are gathering this year. And because of all that of us waiting a long time to do this, we have implemented the measures below for your health, safety, and various comfort levels of all. Are you ready for this? Which I think is pretty common sense. It says 72 hours prior to day one of the convention, all attendees must provide proof of full vaccination or a negative PRC test 72 hours in advance of arrival. All right, we got that last week. No challenges. Now get this. Once you get to the hotel, there's going to be a required on-site test for all attendees on Tuesday, January 18th. And this is what it says. It says, when you arrive, you will be provided an at-home COVID test. You will be required to administer this test on your own in your guest room. And once testing negative, you can bring the negative test to the registration desk to pick up your convention material. At this time, the test will be disposed of. Should you test positive, please email our registration manager to notify us, and I'll give you that email address here in just a moment. At that time, we will cancel/refund your registration. and provide you virtual access to the convention to watch programs from your room. You will not allowed to be on or in the convention center. If you are asymptomatic, the CDC recommends that you isolate for 5 days. And if you have symptoms, 10 days. We are in communication with the hotel about extended stays at group rates for anyone who might test positive. Well, this is interesting. All right. So at-home tests are accurate when there's a high amount of virus in the system. And this is from the doctors and the scientists here. You can still test negative and be a carrier. So that means if I show up there and I test positive after traveling across the country, I will have to stay in my room until the end of the conference. And again, as they say in the news business, this story is fluid and active. And so if you're planning to go to conference and you did not receive today's email, please contact Courtney and be nice to Courtney, okay? Courtney at bdi-events.com. That's Courtney at bdi-events.com. So I would recommend everyone keep watching your email here. It's going to be a week from this Tuesday. You'll start convention in Palm Springs. Again, it's going to be interesting here. So again, if you take the proper precautions, again, no problem. But again, if you're flying across the country, yes, Wayne, divine love does protect me. Divine love protects you too. Are you coming to conference, Wayne? You didn't say anything here. All right. I'm done. I have a lot more news, but that's okay. Well, Diana's a lot more interesting than I am. On Diego. What do you think? 22 minutes after I'm done with the news. You like that? Okay. Okay, so for some announcements, and then we will go into a break and then come right back with some good news from the spiritual director of Summit Center for Spiritual Living, Diana Mangus. All right, so yours truly is parking himself now at Summit CSL. For more information, go to summitcsl.org. There, and only there, you will find information about our wonderful Sunday gathering online at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, your chai, and please join us. We do have one of the best services I've ever seen in New Thought. So this Sunday, we will start our traditional review of the Introduction to the Science Mind textbook with the topic, The Thing Itself, given by the world famous and ever popular NT Media superstar, the one and only Pastor Michael Mangus. So please go to summitcsl.org for more information on how to join our Zoom call. Our service is also simulcast on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page, and also our Facebook page also as past broadcasts of the Fireside Chat and yours truly when he's praying on the New Thought Media Network. Again, Diego, do you have our new schedule? Do you have our new schedule? You do? Okay. You don't know where it's at. Oh, well. Robert went ahead and put together a new schedule with lots of colors, which we do not have for you this evening. However, just to let you know that we have all kinds of programming happening here. We almost have a full schedule of Sunday programming. On Saturday, we have again the Science of Mind lecture series, which is continuing on this year. Lots of things happening, including our Spanish programming, of which Diego is the producer of. I'm going to ask for your support to catch the vision with us that we here at New Thought Media Network have the vision of taking this message to the world. And you can partner with us. Some people will never hear this message. Some people will never go to a Science of Mind center or center of New Thought ever in their lives. But they have us. They have us with daily prayer. They have us with weekly programming. They have us to share the Science of Mind message. There it goes. The brand new one. If you notice on Sunday at 4 o'clock Mountain Time, 6 o'clock Eastern, that Summit CSL is on. We'll be starting to produce our programming here in just a few weeks. But look at all that. And again, you have the opportunity here to support us. So again, go to ntmedia.org/donate, give either a generous one-time gift, or you may go ahead and you may partner with us by giving a monthly gift. Whatever that you give, no matter what amount, it really goes to really help us here. All right. Well, time for a break here, and then we'll be back with the world famous Diana Mangus. You are watching the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network.
Views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
And now, for the good news portion of our program. Here she is, award-winning restaurant manager, now currently with a customer service team for an international jewelry firm, all the way from another part of the super secret concrete bunker. We have this evening Diana Mangus. Hello. Good evening.
Hi. Hi, honey. How are you?
Well, fine. And you're the only person that called me honey.
I'm allowed. Am I not?
Yeah. Well, you are allowed. Okay. So, so Diego is in the background. What? You're not. No, I don't.
No.
Diego is making faces in the background. I can see him. All right. These stories, the first two stories, were handpicked by you.
Mm-hmm.
By you.
Yep.
Because then they come from the Good News Network. And The reason being is because
you need a little lighter tone once in a while in your fireside chats. They're very good,
yeah.
but they're very heavy.
Okay.
So you just need a little lighter.
All right. I agree with you.
Okay.
All right. All right. So this is the first story. Little boy stuffed Bambi was rescued from frozen canal, and he did not think that people would care. The story says, everyone knows Santa's favorite red-nosed reindeer who knows how to fly. Unfortunately, his namesake, Rudolph, a beloved stuffed toy fawn, belonged to 4-year-old Nico Lavallee, did not. And sadly, Nico found out the hard way while on a walk with his mom, Brenda, and sibling, 2-year-old Santiago and 6-year-old Sebastian, when his little brother decided to test his pitching arm by tossing the stuffy over the railing next to the frozen waters of Ottawa's Rideau Canal. Now, unable to retrieve his best buddy, Nico and his family returned to visit Rudolph more than once. And luckily, the plush Bambi landed in close proximity to a distance marker sign, so he wasn't too hard to find. But prospects for a homecoming did not look good. And after several days of falling snowflakes, the forlorn fawn began to slowly disappear beneath a blanket of white, leaving behind only a telltale bump. And that's when older brother Sebastian came up with an idea. He said, during the pandemic, neighborhood social media had become a lifeline to the community, isolated by lockdown. So Sebastian urged his mom to reach out to neighbors to see if anyone might be able to retrieve Rudolph. Brenda Duke was skeptical at first. She said, I didn't want to bother anyone. I don't think anyone would care, she told CBC News. But Sebastian, leave it to kids, convinced her to give it a shot. So she took to Twitter and she says, if anyone happens to see a stuffy reindeer, I think it's a fawn, when the canal opens up, my kids would be grateful, she tweeted, with an accompanying photo showing Rudolph's last known whereabouts circled in red. Toddler's brother threw it in. I know it is unlikely since they are clearing the snow right now and it will be more buried, but my 6-year-old asked me to post it here. And they come to visit it on our daily walks.
Smart
it is the little mound that you see. As hard as it was to believe, a mission to rescue Rudolph was quickly mounted. Even the Canadian National Capital Commission signed on, pledging to put the Skateway Squad on the lookout. And lo and behold, in the twinkling of one vigilant crew member's eye, Rudolph, though frozen and a bit soggy, was MIA no more. And after he had been thawed and groomed, the prodigal Stuffy was reunited with a joyful Nico and his grateful family at the NCC headquarters. In a world that's filled with so many negatives, it can be so easy to lose sight of the positive ones. And sometimes it takes focusing on small acts of kindness to put things in perspective. You just have to ask, said Duke. People do care. Assuming that they don't is something that adults do. My kids are growing up knowing that other people have our backs and other people do care. And that really is heartwarming.
It truly is heartwarming.
So what did you like about that story?
Well, it is heartwarming. And the fact that the young boy, the son, the 6-year-old decides, hey, let's do something a little bit more than just try to take care of it ourselves. Let's get social media involved. It helped with COVID and other things. Why can't we do it for this? And he was right. He was right. He listened to his godly instinct, his spiritual instinct, which, of course, kids are so much easier to do that, as you know. And he convinced mom. And everybody else just fell right in line and did everything they could do to help.
Wayne says, you had the power all along, my dear.
Absolutely.
Well, to Wayne, hats off to the Canadian officials for doing that. That was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments about this wonderful story?
Just it was a cute story. And if you saw the picture of the little stuffed animal, you'd say, oh, that's so cute.
All right. The next one, I think she picked up because she knows that I am a pro wrestling fan.
Yeah. I did.
Dwayne Johnson, otherwise known as The Rock. And can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Was a favorite catchphrase of him, or it's his, in WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. So Dwayne Johnson, movie star extraordinaire, gives his own custom truck to a deserving fan at new movie screening. A fan showed up to watch the latest movie by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, had the shock of a lifetime first by meeting the star himself, and then when the wrestler turned actor handed over his keys to his personal truck. And Johnson knew that he would be treating the moviegoers to a meet and greet, as well as to free popcorn and ice cream at the concession stands. Now, that's pretty nice. But he also did a bit of research into those in attendance. And it was Rodriguez's big heart that caught his eye. Oscar Rodriguez's story moved me, Johnson wrote on his Instagram, explaining that the gift, which was enough to make Rodriguez break down and cry. Rodriguez is a Navy veteran. He's a personal trainer. He's a sole caretaker of his 75-year-old mother. Rodriguez is also a leader of his local church group and runs a charity to help victims of domestic violence. Johnson wrote this. He said, my original idea was to give away the red Porsche that I drove in the movie Red Notice. When we reached out to Porsche, they said no. So, meeting Hollywood's highest paid actor on any occasion is a cause to be excited. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, has a reputation of being extremely positive, motivational, and prone to bouts of kindness. And after calling Rodriguez down from the seats in the theater to introduce him and to share his story, he let the man out into the parking lot. He handed him a card that said, thank you for your service, brother. Enjoy your new truck, and handed him the keys. And then Johnson joked after his good deed, and now I can figure out how I'm getting home because I don't have my ride. I think he got home somehow, huh, Diana?
He did. Sounds like somebody that was with him took him home that day. If you see that, it's a YouTube video as well. So, but it just shows that when you care about other people, he continued to do the kinds of things. He wasn't doing it for a reward. He was just doing it because it was the right thing to do. Good things still happen. And then he gets this custom-made truck from one of his idols or movie idols or wrestling idols. He said he's seen him many times in this truck. You know, he goes, I thought this was your truck. And he said, yeah, it was my custom truck, but it's yours now. So how cool is that? And the guy he fell down several times, Oscar did, because he was so thrilled and so grateful for all the goodness. But the thing was that The Rock kept saying, you know what, you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. You are a special. You were in the military. You take care of your 75-year-old mother. You take care of battered women. You help with your church group. He said, why couldn't you be deserving? So how wonderful is that?
And I guarantee that truck was extra custom.
Oh, absolutely.
That was not off the showroom.
Oh,
that was
no.
tricked out to the max.
Right.
All kinds of goodies that you normally would not find on your truck. So he gave him probably about a $75,000 truck.
At least.
All right. Now, you missed a story.
I know.
But it came on today, so being the good guy I am, I did find it.
Okay.
So we had some interesting weather here on the East Coast. And it's really interesting because we haven't gotten very much snowfall around here, huh, Diana?
No, we've been very fortunate. And knock on wood. I know I shouldn't do that, but yeah, I'm enjoying Ohio weather at the moment. So.
Well, it's not like San Diego weather or.
No, but
Florida
for
weather.
Ohio, it's very mild so far.
Yeah, so what has happened here is that the snowstorms have completely bypassed our area. However, it has hit some of the southern states, including Kentucky, West Virginia, and also parts of the East Coast. So much so that you probably saw in the news the Interstate I-95, which I have been on. It goes into our nation's capital of Washington, D.C., was at gridlock for more than a day and a half. So this is where the story comes in. It says, couple stuck on highway for 21 hours inspires bakery truck to give away their supplies to hungry drivers. It says a miserable day stuck in the snow on U.S. Interstate 95 took a turn for the better through a positive sort of highway robbery. The understanding CEO of a baking company ordered one of his drivers to pass bread and rolls out to stranded cars, breaking some fasts which were going on 2 days. So these people were literally starving in their cars. And so what happened was, with some cars containing babies, pets, and elderly people, a lack of opportunity to eat provided as much discomfort as the cold to thousands of motorists on I-95 who got stranded when winter storms dropped around a foot of snow on Virginia and other eastern states. They don't have snow plows there, okay? So what happens is that when you get snow in places like the nation's capital and I-95, they just don't know how to drive in it. Now, if you took a look at the conditions on the news, you saw that the whole road was glazed over. So it was very difficult to get everyone going again. So anyhow, a Maryland couple, Casey Holohan and her husband, John, hadn't eaten for 37 hours while waiting for the snow to clear when they spotted In the distance, a Schmidt baking company truck. Not thinking it would work, the hungry couple called the customer's service line of the company, asking if they could have some bread. We didn't think it would actually work, but less than 20 minutes later, we got an incredible surprise, wrote Casey in a Facebook post. We received a personal phone call from the owner of the company, Chuck, who then contacted his driver. It was an easy decision, said Chuck, who is the CEO of H&S Baking, who owns Schmidt. Told the Washington Post, he says his words to the driver were to give away all the bread, adding that he was very humbled and grateful that we could help. The driver, Ron Hill, then opened the back of the truck and with Casey and John's help, distributed 300 packages of bread and rolls to more than 50 stranded motorists. Now, I'm wondering if that also includes yummy fruit-filled cakes.
I hope so.
I hope
That'd be
so.
good.
Yeah. That'd be really good.
Uh-huh.
Hold on here. The driver, Ron Hill, went ahead and did that. And he says, we just kept giving out until we couldn't walk anymore because it was so freezing. Allahan told NBC affiliate WBAL, it felt incredible just hearing people say thank you. Hearing people just so relieved to finally have food in their car, food in their system, and in their kids' system. It was really an incredible feeling. You know what? It reminds me of a Bible story. Something about this guy, Jesus.
Yeah, the loaves and the fishes.
Loaves and fishes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, the wonderful, how many people were fed, and months, so much more left over afterwards too.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Well, good for Schmidt Baking Company.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much. The other thing too that has to be noted is that that wasn't their only act of kindness. They've been giving out literally millions of loaves to families during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So they have been really helping as far as helping to feed other people. So when they had the opportunity, and again, I don't know why the Highway Patrol didn't have the Red Cross come in and help these families. But again, it was very nice that at least some of the people went ahead and said, hey, you know what? There's a bread truck right in front of us. Let's see if he still has a full load to go ahead and to feed. Well, if you're wondering what you're watching this evening, this is the good news portion of the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network, with stories inspired by and carefully researched by the spiritual director of Summit Center for Spiritual Living here in Akron, Ohio, Diana Mangus, at another part of the super secret concrete bunker. Hey, when are we going to get some, you're supposed to arrange for the interior decorators to come in here.
Oh, to do some painting. Yeah. So it needs it.
It's
it's bad. It needs it.
Well, again, when the security team got us in here, they said, it is up to you to decorate.
They did.
We don't do decoration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Too bad.
Too bad, yeah. All right. The last one, which Diana picked out, it says that small victories make a huge difference in our lives. And if you're wondering where we got these stories from this evening, it is from the Good News Network, goodnewsnetwork.com, to go on their website. It says, from finding a $20 bill in an old jacket to finally finishing a TV series on the watch list, An average person has 4 small wins a day, or 1,460 each and every year, according to a new survey. A poll of 2004 Americans delved into the impact of life's little successes and found that 4 in 5 have become more conscious of the small wins since the start of the pandemic. That's a good outcome of having to spend your time alone. It says 87% find that these wins to be crucial for powering through the day, according to a survey that was conducted by One Poll for TGI Fridays. I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
And also have an order of fries and onion rings too, please.
Yeah.
So much so that 67% have made a conscious effort to recognize and celebrate them more compared to before the pandemic. Baby boomers, which you and I are, said completing chores, decorating for the season, and other home-related goals are the most satisfying types of small wins to achieve. It says when it comes to self-care, 92% of all respondents have been exploring different methods of maintaining personal wellness, and 87% says that recognizing any small win each day is a crucial form of self-care.
Those are the things we have to be grateful for. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. But respondents also listed such things as paying off a bill or hitting a savings goal, 56%. And also sweet surprises like getting a free cup of coffee or finding a great parking spot, 53%, as well as other small wins are worth celebrating. No matter the achievement, however, 82% said that there is no such thing as a win being too small to celebrate. Now, 9 in 10, this is from the survey conducted with the help of TGI Fridays. 9 in 10 say that these small wins have a positive impact on their mental health, and 82% agree that they are keys to having a good day. The best way to celebrate small wins, 54% said that telling friends and family about small successes is the best way to savor it. Researcher half said that treating yourself to a special dinner or cocktail is another great way to celebrate, including having a glass of wine. Mm-hmm. So here are the most satisfying small wins. Hearing new music for the first time, completing a self-care activity, finishing watching a TV series, paying a bill off, achieving a savings goal, completing chores, decorating for the season, finding money in old clothes, getting the best parking space out of the blue, trying a new food for the first time, achieving a fitness goal, reading a book. I would also put buying a book, but we're not going to go there.
Oh, no.
Since I have too many of them.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Also, learning to cook a new dish, arriving just in time. How about that? Fixing a typo before hitting send or a spelling mistake, and getting off to work early. Those are all small wins. Now, how has Americans practiced self-care since the start of the pandemic? Spending quality time with loved ones, 48%. Not taking anything for granted, 42%. Mm-hmm. Writing down goals and small wins, big successes in a journal. Exercising or doing yoga, which is both the same thing. 42% having spent more time outdoors, 40% and having more celebrations, even for all the small things, and that's 40%. Now, Diana, why did you pick that one out?
Because it is the small things in life that make your entire life. So if you can celebrate the small things and remind yourself of the good in it, then why not enjoy it even more? Just remember those little small things, those little wins every day. It's put it in your gratitude journal. Put it in your thought. And the more that you do that, the more often you'll have even more things to write about or to be grateful for. That's the big thing. Is it just snowballs and it creates even more.
And also writing them down in a journal has been shown.
Yeah.
By research to make it more aware to you. So when you do a gratitude journal or you do a small wins journal or any of the thing where you write it down, what that does is that puts focus on it. Well, Diana Mangus, you get an A+ for picking out the good news stories this evening.
Thank you.
Anything else you would like to share with our vast studio audience?
Well, just to, I think the big thing is that sometimes we get so caught up in the heaviness of things. When we remember those little small things, those little small wins, those little, okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on and we need to be aware of it. We need but we need to also just have a little bit of fun with it, have a little bit of lightness to it, and just enjoy life in general. And when we can do that, it makes it so much easier. It makes everything more fun, so much, I don't know. Anyways, I'm done.
So tell us about this brand new program on the New Thought Media Network on Sundays. What are we going to attempt to do?
Well, what we are going to attempt to do is our usual service that we do in the morning. We're going to attempt to at least have the speaker portion of the service and probably the prayer and meditation portion of it to be rebroadcasted, in the afternoon, with a little bit of tweaking and stuff. And I mean, we have one tremendous musician who does fantastic personal
30 seconds.
Personal songs that he has written, but he's a wonderful musician. And you'll get to see him some, but he is also one of the speakers. But it'll be interesting we want to just try to get that word out that there's New Thought in Ohio, and there's New Thought in Akron.
There is?
Yeah, and there's New Thought in Akron. Oh. Yeah.
Diana Mangus, again, thank you so very much for your input. And we really appreciate it this evening. And thank you for the last half of the show, the good news. And also there is a program called And Now the Good News, which is before our program at 7 o'clock Eastern. That's at 5 o'clock Mountain Time here on the New Thought Media Network. All right, time for us to go. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Remember, we'll be back tonight for prayer, yours truly, at 10:15 tonight Eastern Time, 7:15 Pacific Time here on the New Thought Media Network. And also on Sunday, I will be with the Reverend Dr. Charlotte Manning, who will be having on meditation coach, who has a website called Meditations by Michelle. So that'll be this coming Sunday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain Time here on your channel, the New Thought Media Network. Well, for Diego, Diana, and all of us, and Wayne being there. Hi, Wayne. This is Pastor Michael wishing you a very pleasant good evening.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.